25 Wild Christmas Review Days. Today, we're talking about the Polar Express. Let's jump into it. Released in 2004, this story focuses on a young boy, who is credited as Hero Boy, pondering the idea of whether Santa Claus is real or not. The doubts of Santa's existence also slowly start to pour the Christmas spirit out of him. Fortunately for him, he embarks on a magical journey to the North Pole on the night of Christmas Eve when a magical train pulls up in front of his house and the conductor, played by Tom Hanks, invites him on board along with a bunch of other children who ponder the existence of Santa Claus and brings them all to the North Pole for their curiosity to be answered. While on the journey, the boy and a bunch of other kids not only just learn the true meaning of friendship, but also learn what the true spirit of Christmas is all about. So, I'm not a very big fan of this one. Okay, alright, calm down. It's just my opinion, folks. I know nobody is there, no one's behind the camera, but I think the joke is funny. I know a large majority of people really like this film, and I can understand why. It's cute, the animation's really good. In fact, it's the same animation that the Jim Carrey Christmas Carol was also animated in. That animation is really fascinating, the way that they make them look actually realistic and not cartoon-like. The songs are pretty good. The Hot Chocolate song's really catchy. It's got really great visuals. The effects are nice. The scenery of the whole story's nice. Everything's nice about it. And I think that's why I'm not a very big fan of it. I saw it multiple times when I was little, and I even was kind of forced to watch it in 8th grade because they just put that movie on around Christmas time, and everybody in my class was singing along to the songs, and I just kind of sat there not singing. Mostly because I don't sing those type of songs. I rarely sing at all, actually, but you get my point. I just couldn't find that much of enjoyment of it as everybody else could. I can't understand why I don't like it either. I mean, when it's on, I'll watch it, but again, I won't have that much enjoyment of watching it. I don't have any nostalgic feels about it. I guess because this story is very different from every other Christmas film, as it doesn't really feel like that there's anything intense going on. With the Polar Express, there really isn't that much conflict, and at times I kind of found it a little boring-ish. When you think about it, it's just a bunch of kids just sitting around taking a journey to the North Pole because they're not exactly sure if Santa Claus exists or not. And while I'll admit that's a good story, I like the idea of a magic train taking kids to the North Pole. I just think maybe a little more could have been added to it. But generally just the way that the story was, going, the direction it was going in and the pacing of it, it's just not a story that I found enjoyment of. There weren't as many parts that I laughed at, there weren't any parts that, I found interesting. I thought the visuals were really cool. Again, the animation is fantastic, but my emotions watching it aren't the same as everyone else's. I think Tom Hanks did a really great job playing the conductor. I love listening to his voice. I think Tom Hanks is slowly becoming one of my favorite actors. What's also really interesting that you may not know about this film is that he also plays 5 other roles in this film, which is really interesting. Apparently he plays the Hero Boy, which is his name. We never get any... That's also another interesting point about this film. That's pretty unique. The kid doesn't have a name. He's just called Hero Boy. Of course, he has a name, but we just never find out what his name is. But I was really fascinated to know that Tom Hanks voiced him. I didn't know that before. Tom Hanks also does the voice of Santa, which I kind of saw coming. I didn't know it at first, but after hearing his voice again, I kind of had a little hint that maybe that was Tom Hanks. I felt that the incarnation of Santa that they portrayed in this film, I feel was very dull. He wasn't coming off to me as very jolly and happy, more of just like serious and stern. Apart from the last few seconds of the film where we see him shooting up into the sky with the reindeer flying off to deliver the gifts, and we hear him laughing, his trademark laugh, that's the only part that I felt like I was watching the actual Santa. Every other time he was on the screen, I just felt like that it was more of not much of a Christmas jolly Santa, but more of just a business type Santa. So that's really all I have to say about the Polar Express. I don't have that much to say about it, merely just because it's not one of my favorites. I don't really have any favorite parts about it. I do think it's a good film. It's just not one that, you know, I care to watch every year, which is okay because everybody watches something different. So that's what I think of The Polar Express, but you may think differently than me, most likely because you are a different person. What do you think about The Polar Express? Is that one of your favorite films? Do you look forward to watching it? What's your opinion on the whole entire thing? Do you agree or disagree with anything that I said in this video? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. That's it for day 19 of 25 wild Christmas review days. We're slowly getting there, folks. We got 6 more days left. 6, yes. I didn't do very well in math, I'm sorry. Come back tomorrow because it's going to be another interesting one as I'm going blind once again into a new film. It's the first time I'm going to be checking this film out. All I've seen about it is the trailer, and that's literally all I've seen about it. Come back tomorrow, it's supposed to be interesting. Thanks for watching The Wild View. I'm The Wild Viewer, and you just saw me review a thing.